I don't remember anything about Donald Trump prior to his political candidacy. And my only introduction to him outside of politics, I guess, is Home Alone 2.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
That's all I really knew about Trump.
I'll be at my office at Trump Tower.
I've seen his cameos in like Sex and the City and like Home Alone 2, but I didn't really have that knowledge of him until long after he became president, just because all of that is kind of a little before my time.
Steven, you're fired.
I've still not seen The Apprentice.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Wait, I think I might have heard about it on TikTok, but I was kind of like, I don't know what that is.
My name is Chris White.
My name is Joey Fote.
My name is Elise Jerome, and I'm voting for president for the first time.
There, that looks better.
There it is. Okay, so, oh wait, I shouldn't start with okay. I'm a 17-year-old college student at Jackson College, and I'm studying communications.
I go to Baker College in Owasso, and I'm studying business. I'm 18.
I'm 20 years old. I'm a junior at Hope College. I'm an engineering and physics major. I'm definitely an independent. I'm really deeply unhappy with both parties in the way they're conducting themselves at the moment. My parents are definitely more conservative. They're not hard right by any means, but certainly that Christian conservative fundamental belief in God. They raised me in a certain kind of way. Midwestern nice, I would say, has a large impact on me in this election with, oh, well, they suck and they suck. Well, okay, let's not talk about how much each other suck and let's try to find the good that we can vote for.
I consider myself a Democrat just because they're the party who has morals I align with the most. I don't necessarily always agree with every hard stance the Democratic Party takes. My parents really just hammered a lot of, not even necessarily political beliefs, but just moral beliefs in me. I think a big thing is just empathy.
I would consider myself a Republican or conservative. I tried to follow in my parents' footsteps, but as I've grown, I've learned that I like to go my own way a little bit with things. So I've developed my own opinion on politics, and I mean, it's still the same as theirs. I think it has a lot to do with our religion. I go to Faith Community Church. My grandpa's the pastor. He was a big role model for me.
No, I have not decided I'm voting for president yet.
I will be voting for Kamala Harris.
So I'm gonna vote for Trump.
Crooked Hillary, fuck.
I would say I started paying attention to the news when I was around 10 because that was the 2016 election. My feelings were mostly anxiety about the potential of Donald Trump being elected.
COVID happened when I was in middle school. I missed a couple years going to an actual school, and I know some of my older friends who didn't even get to walk at graduation.
COVID in school sucked. I mean, there's no other way to put that. It was pretty awful.
It was just kind of a free-for-all. They were just like, go home, we don't know what's going on. I didn't struggle that much academically, I would say, but it's, I think, the social aspect.
It was put a lot on Trump, but it wasn't even his fault.
Trump started Project Warp Speed, but then once he left office and Biden was there and pushing out the vaccine, all of a sudden the vaccine was being railed against by people that were former Trump allies. That's the biggest idea in my mind of okay, they totally flip-flopped on that.
Parkland specifically, but on the whole, school shootings have been, sad isn't even the word. When you're in class, you listen with only one headphone in because you're if something's happening, I want to hear it. It just kind of creates this looming feeling of fear.
I knew people who went to Oxford when that shooting happened. That was a very sad time and scary time. I feel no child should have to go through being scared to go to school and learn.
I don't think anybody's doing enough on gun control, honestly.
I don't think there should be gun control. I think we should protect our constitutional right to bear arms.
No justice, no peace. To turn on the news and see so many people be victims of police brutality was sickening, isn't really even the word. It's something I've been aware of for, unfortunately, my whole life. It made me feel like I could take an active role instead of a passive one.
I'm most concerned about whether we can continue working with each other. I really wish that we could have a party that was founded on getting the government working for people again.
Some of my biggest issues this election are accessibility to abortions, gun control, LGBT rights, and the climate crisis. To see people who are, it's rude to say, but nearing the ends of their lives say that the environment doesn't matter, we are the people who have to pick up the pieces of the environmental crisis.
I would love to see better science policy. If we want to talk about climate change, we have to invest in green energy. I think nuclear is the best one, and we're not putting that much money towards nuclear at the moment.
My top issues that I'm concerned about is immigration, the Second Amendment. Well, abortion's my top one too. I know Trump will leave it up to the states, which I think is fine. I personally just think that abortion should be banned.
My third would probably be foreign policy. Oppose Russia. Russia's getting more unstable, and China is still steadily rising.
The war in Gaza is absolutely a big issue for me this election.
The DNC not allowing any Palestinian or Arab speakers was a pretty big red flag to me. We're the world's police force. We need to at least pretend like we're a moral power.
Inflation is a big issue. Trying to provide for yourself while you're in college. I want to go home and see my family, but I don't want to put the gas in my car because it's just so expensive, and that's like my paycheck.
We're definitely an afterthought. They're not necessarily talking in terms of things that actually affect me, because I have to pay rent this week. I don't have to pay rent in 30 years, right? Like, I'm glad your stock returns are great, but that doesn't change how my life is impacted now. I'm definitely not a fan of Trump, but I'm also definitely not a fan of Kamala. I was really hoping that a different Democratic candidate would have been picked. It was an opportunity for the Democrats to put up a very strong candidate that was much more oriented towards the youth, in my opinion.
They are doubling down on negativity.
I absolutely think we need younger people in politics. It's unacceptable to have people who, in any other circumstance, would be forced to retire running the country. Kamala Harris is the best option we have right now. I don't know if there's a better spin I could put on that. We got this. She's restored a bit of that faith that democracy will win.
I know Kamala is more like women's rights, like it's a women's body. Women have to realize if they want to have jobs in the future and be able to make a good and steady income, he's what is going to make this country great. The future of our country is at stake.
The future of our country is in the hands of voters.
The future of our country is bright. We're still doing great. Let's stop pretending like we're falling into ruin tomorrow. We're still the richest, most powerful country on the earth. Let's do something with it.